Travis Wayne Goodsell. One thing the church counts on as part of their brainwashing tactics is that Mormons, in their brainwashed condition, will deny the warning voice of those of us who are critical of the church. And I'm witnessing such a successful brainwashing on the Mormon women, as my channel analytics is losing women but gaining the older women. See, the women my age, in my age category decade, they're minimal. This is the start of the cancel culture generation. It's my generation. I witnessed cancel culture as a child, but it carried over and became a thing for the previous generation that are now 35 to 44-year-olds, as apparently they married men who just don't care. They want to hear. They want to hear what I have to say. So the wives are like, oh, hell no, I ain't listening to him. And the husbands are like, oh, okay. I have no idea what they're interpreting. Most likely it's thumbs down. So their wives are cancel culture and the men are outwardly thumbs down. And not listening, maybe? Who knows? But then you have the children of my generation and minimal men who view, and no women. Is there a slight sliver, though? It looks like there might be. No percentage. Unless one is too small of a percentage to count. I think Janet claimed to be of the 35 to 44-year-old generation. Is that right, Janet? So maybe you are that sliver. But, yeah, then the children of the cancel culture, the main cancel culture generation, the boys are increasing in their rebelness. But the girls, nope, they're being complicit and compliant, obeying their mother. Yeah, that was not my sister. One of my sisters, the oldest of the sisters. I am the oldest, but oldest of my sisters. She learned how to manipulate Mom to get her way, and then that's carried over into her adult life as she continues to manipulate to get her way. And how well has that worked for her? Well, she's divorced. Consequences of manipulating your husband. And yeah, there was always, when I would get something for school or for extracurricular activities, you know, like I need shoes and uniform or whatever is needed for whatever sport I was getting into, she demanded to have something. Whatever it was, Travis gets it, why can't I? And so that's how she learned to manipulate it. She even turned Dad on Mom behind his back without him knowing that he had turned on Mom, because she had bought a dress of her own And well, maybe Mom bought it for her, but Mom was opposed to buying it for her because Mom thought it was, too slutty. Mom doesn't use the word slutty. She's of the older generation, but that's what she meant. And Tiffany insisted that's the dress she wanted to wear for the dance at school. And so they had gotten into a huge fight. She had manipulated Mom into getting it for her anyway. And then Dad comes home that evening. She beats Mom to Dad and says, "Dad, I got this dress." And he looks at it and goes, "Oh, that's very beautiful, dear." And I'm there watching in the living room. And I see Mom come from behind, stalking in the shadows, as my mom does. And I can see her scowl on her face. I'm not sure if it was because her daughter is rubbing it in, or that Dad thought it was beautiful and didn't find anything slutty about it. But yeah, good times. So here's a little warning for you women who are not listening, who are never going to listen because you've made up your minds you want nothing to do with me, as I'm an LDS critic and therefore I'm evil. The church is plotting polygamy. Do you know what that is? Your husbands do. And as much as they might want it, they would never tell you that they want it. But the reality is, it's exclusive. Because when you do the math, you're going to be short on the number of wives to spread around to all the men. As I've last heard, the male to female ratio in the church is pretty close. There's more single men than single women, but if all things being equal, the church were going to allow all Melchizedek priesthood holders to have 10 virgins, we're going to run into some problems, and pretty quickly, if we start marrying off 10 to the first guys in line. And there's going to be elders who are not going to get a woman. And then the church is probably going to say, well, go and convert your wives then. But as I've suspected, when Nelson came in and immediately did away with the high priest group, that left the elders with no hope of being grandfathered into the high priest group as a high priest. You must become a leader that requires the raising up to the level of a high priest. And as Section 76 requires that only those who are high priests are allowed to go to the highest degree of the celestial kingdom, you mix that with Section 132 and the 10 virgins requirement for the celestial kingdom. Yeah, I can see exactly what Nelson is plotting and planning. As he changed the law of chastity to say those to whom you are legally and lawfully wedded according to his law. Section 132, 10 virgins. And I don't, all bets are off, technically. I can hope for things, but the church is evil. This is evil, what they're doing. And, there's already the church lies about how Joseph Smith was stealing other women's or other husbands' wives. No, it was the Danites. They were doing it in secret, blaming it on Joseph. And then after they assassinated Joseph, they then said, oh, Joseph was practicing in secret, so this is why we're doing it. Everybody's in on it. We're allowing you to be in on it too. Right, baby? So, yeah, as creepy as that is, it wouldn't surprise me at all if unworthy men were stripped of their wives to be given to more worthier men. Or even allow for divorce to try to convince the women to leave their husband.
Oh, you aren't good enough. You're just an elder.
Yeah, I met many a woman in the singles wards, both young and old, who were waiting for their priesthood or authority, leadership authority, priesthood holder, and all the others were scrubs. But yeah, this is what I have a concern for, is that the lack of women from my generation down refusing to watch my videos when I'm trying to warn them of the upcoming danger that is lurking. See, my generation down, they don't like polygamy. The older generation, yeah, you still remember the days when Grandpa was a polygamist. So, yeah, the older generation expects polygamy to return. The younger generations, my generation and below, they don't want polygamy. And that concerns me, that they think that I am so evil because of what the church has deceived them with, and that the church is going to drop the bomb on them and saying, hey, you now have to be married in a polygamous relationship in order to be exalted. We run the kingdom now. We conquered America. We rule the world with our trillions. And conform and comply or be cast into outer darkness. So yeah, if the church wins, I do fear for the horror that awaits the women of the church. That they just don't understand, that they would rather hate me than recognize the danger that awaits them. So, I guess my story of Beth was not convincing to anybody other than the older generation. That's sad. So, the 1,000 Club videos, the LDS Church to abolish Book of Mormon for April 2021 General Conference. That's made the 1,000 Club, and so I've made sure to have all of the 1,000 Clubbers so that you can see the thumbs up and thumbs down. So there you go. I'm pretty assured that those who put thumbs down aren't listening to me anymore. They gave up a long time ago. But yeah, the Lost Scriptures is up there because of the latest push. I mean, it was a massive push. My goodness. I don't think it even reached 100 last year. It was just all of a sudden, at the end of the year, everybody just wanted to watch it. There was a mad rush to find out what was going on with that video. And so now you can see the LDS Apostle Bednar calls for the death of Mormons. You can see how many Mormons hate me. But this is the point. Mormons get brainwashed. They protect the prophets. And if the prophets tell them to go jump off a cliff, Mormons jump off a cliff. And it's just sad. You know, they say, here, drink this Kool-Aid. Okay, glug, glug, glug. Oh. They're doing it with coronavirus. And that's what Bednar was doing in his little speech thing. He was calling for the death of Mormons. You know, don't wear a mask. Go out in public. Go to church. Go to the temple. Go on your missions. Screw this virus. It's taking away our agency, and we will not let it. Oh my God. A prophet of God telling Mormons to go kill themselves. So yeah, I worry about you guys, you girls. And unfortunately, your grandparents, your grandmothers, are the only ones who can intervene for you. So those of you who are grandmothers listening to me, I hope you are listening. You're listening far more than the men. 23% versus 10% of the 55 to 64 year olds. But not the 65 and older. The men are more listening more. But my generation listens the most to what I have to say. I guess they can relate. And then the 35 to 44 year olds are second in listening time. But yeah, the younger generation, they don't listen. Their retention level is too low. So, alrighty. So, yeah. Grandma, well, you're not grandma. You're in between grandma. You're cougar for me. Cougars, please talk to your daughters and your granddaughters. Warn them, please. Assuming you obviously you're listening. 23% of my videos. Yeah, so please warn them. I mean, you're not listening because you hate my stuff, right?